So we're now at the aft of the boat inside, and here's one of the long nets for running on the hard ground. And is the guys' work down here must be quite tough when you're at sea and bouncing around.
Yes, it is. Yes, when the boat's rolling about in bad weather and this net's moving about, there's 100 feet of 16-inch, and these are 18-inch. And as you get further up the net towards the wing ends and the quarters, they're all 16-inch, 18-inch and 16-inch, and there's 100 foot of these hoppers. And when this is rolling about, there's an awful lot of weight in it. And if any of these hit you, they'll break your legs, snap your ankle. There's lots of things that, and you often get people just hanging on and pulling themselves up. And when the boat rolls, you know, you can see. I have cameras, so I can see. I just stay in the wheelhouse and watch. See little cameras up there.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can actually watch them from the wheelhouse, watching people hang on and rolling about.
But there's no danger of them going overboard here because you've got quite a high.
These are hydraulic doors, and these are on. You see how they can move up and down. They're on hydraulic rams, so we can actually close them up. So if it's a really bad weather day, when the net's out, we can just seal the hatches.
Wow.
So it's all enclosed at that point.
And how does all the equipment fare with the corrosion? Because obviously there's a lot of rust. It's with the salt water.
Well, the majority of the pipes are stainless steel, so they're okay. It's just the fittings, where the fittings are, you have to get them replaced every couple of years. And there's the odd one or two hoses, which are the rubber hoses, but there's nothing load bearing on them really. Anything that's taking lots of weight, heavy weight, proper weight, has been replaced in stainless steel.
Yeah.
But I mean, these hatches aren't taking any weight just to shift them up and down. That's why they're just rubber hoses.
And then you've got an identical area the other side as well.
It's not as long.
Right.
And it's that net on that side is more for soft ground.
Right. You can see on the drum there. So it's about the same size as the one we saw outside.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's the same net, just on different size pancakes. It's just these rubber pancakes are a different size. Mm-hmm. The ones up top are 14 and 12-inch, and then they're 12-inch and 10-inch. So we've got different sizes down for every type of fishing ground we want to use.
And do these wear out?
Yes.
Right.
They certainly do. You can see them there. Look, see how that one's starting to go flat? See how they're starting to go flat?
Yeah. So it's just where it's dragged along the bottom, it's worn away.
Yeah, I mean, it's still got a nice curvature, but that one alongside it's going flat again, look. Yes.
So when the fish are brought on deck, are they brought down here?
No,
or?
they're not. What we'll do is we'll haul the net in. We won't bring the entire net in board, we'll just bring it so these pancakes just drop in. And then there's a crane on the top deck with a big power block head on it. And you scoop up the net. You scoop the net up, the boat will then stop in the water, you'll be knocked out of gear, so the boat just swings round to the wind and lays beam on. And at that point the guys will haul the net through the crane until you get to the cod end. And there's a winch on the top deck up forward, and they hook that into the cod end, and then they just drag it round, and then the fish go to the front of the boat and they drop through a hatch in the top of the deck into a reception hopper at the front, and then they go up the conveyor belt and they all get processed from there. So the guys aren't outside much at all. They're nearly working under the cover all the time. It's not like it used to be when there was open deck boats, and nearly all shelter decks now with conveyor belts. Yeah, they're spoiled these days.
But much safer for them to work.
Yes,
yeah. Wow.
Yes, they are encouraged to wear life jackets still all the time.
Yeah.
Because you never know, do you? You never know.
And what sort of what would a good haul? How many fish or what weight of fish would a good haul be?
Well, that all depends on what sort of species it is. If it's well, everybody likes to see a full net. Everybody likes to see a full net, but these days, when you see a full net, there's not the excitement in it anymore because it's all to be rented. because of the way quotas are and just the whole state of the industry, I suppose. This is what being ruled by Brussels does for you. But hopefully when we come out of the EU, 23rd of June, your fingers crossed.
It could all change, that's right.
Yeah, so if we come out, things might change. But we shall see. Time will tell. But yes.
You said the boat's for sale at the moment, though, because it's quite hard to keep that
yes.
income up.
It just gets you back to your first question about what's a good haul. Well, a good haul on this boat, you are looking for between 150 and 200 boxes a day. So ideally, in a trip, we're going to want you're going to want 800 to 900 boxes for your trip, and that's 7 stone boxes, and you want that every 6 or 7 days. And because of quotas, you're having to rent it all. So, it's just no fun. When the net comes up 4 years ago, when you called for a 100 box haul of cod, yeah, 100 boxes of cod, yeah. Now you haul for 100 boxes of cod and you think, okay, well we might get to have 20 of them because 80 of them we're going to have to rent. We're going to have to rent 80 of them boxes off somebody who has the quota. And that's just what you do. So these days there's just no fun in it.
Are the fish still out there? I mean, that's a big question.
There's lots of fish. There's cod everywhere. Up around the Shetlands, across to Norway, you can't get away from cod. You just can't get away from it. We steam 12 hours to try and get away from cod, and you catch more than what you did before you left. It's just everywhere.
Wow.
All around the Shetlands, the east and west coast of Shetlands. I was talking to a skipper from Shetlands yesterday, and he was taking 65 to 70 boxes of cod aboard every haul and only saving 15 of them because that was all he had quota for. And that wasn't the cod, it was the actual other fish he was getting in with the cod. The cod was being discarded because he doesn't have the quota. And that's not just one boat, that's every boat. They're all the same. Everybody's having to discard, and
that's a shame.
It is. If the government would up the allocation to where the fishing actually is, then nobody would have to discard, and they'd get true representation of what was being caught.
Is there much left in the North Sea here off Scarborough now?
Couldn't tell you. I've not fished off Scarborough for probably 10 years. We don't, not just off Scarborough. We go east to the Silver Pitch, catch prawns during the summer months. But just going up and down off Scarborough, I really don't know, because you couldn't run a boat like this.
No.
Working off Scarborough.
No, we've had the oyster guys here, haven't we, and the shellfish and crabfish, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.